Michael, you see the strategy of Microsoft, and you actually explained that it's a hybrid strategy that they can build their own stack, full stack, ZTP, like you can get even the 5G core, and that's because of the acquisitions, right? Affirmed and Metaswitch, and also they are open to certify and to have other network functions onboarded. And we see in the market, like the acquisition from Microsoft, maybe AWS tends to have to advocate more the ecosystem and the partnership. So there are different tactics in the hyperscalers. So how do you see these tactics, and what actually the telcos are looking for? I mean, what are their expectations?
I think, look, I will do two rationalizations and comparisons here. So if you contrast Microsoft to AWS, I think the approach is coming from each company's DNA. So Microsoft has its own cloud, but also has a very, very strong application stack where they have their own databases, their own mail servers, et cetera, et cetera. So they come from that perspective. You can decide to treat Azure as infrastructure as a service, platform as a service, or even software as a service, right? So they have all three tiers, and they're all native Microsoft applications. But of course, you can bring third parties. So if you want to run an Oracle database on Azure, you will be able to also do that, correct? I think they took the same approach to the telco portion of the stack, where they wanted to have their own application stack on top of the infrastructure, but also give you the flexibility to bring your own applications from their partner ecosystem, Ericsson, Nokia, et cetera, et cetera. So I think this is a company direction. While AWS, they never started like this, right? AWS, they started as a hosting platform for Amazon.com, right? And this was their only application. So when they launched AWS as a standalone infrastructure IaaS platform, right, it was all about hosting third-party applications, and they grew their ecosystem and marketplace. And when they went into the telco domain, it's the same DNA of the company. They don't care about building their own applications. They are a cloud provider first and foremost, and they build an ecosystem around. I would say Google is closer to AWS than Microsoft, but still a little bit in between, because they provide some of their own applications, like, for example, the RCS server, which they invested heavily in, and so on. So they are somewhere in between, right? So on the other hand, they also fit different market requirements. You have your there are telcos that want to de-risk as much as possible and find a single throat to choke. So these guys that go to Huawei or Nokia or Ericsson and say, look, top-down stack, I don't care about anything. If anything goes wrong, it's your problem, your SLA, managed service, et cetera, et cetera. And there are telcos, on the other hand, that want an agnostic infrastructure, and they want to mix and match different vendors and test and even create different regions in their network with different vendors and so on. And again, the model of Microsoft versus AWS caters to these different market demands and mindsets. If somebody wants to move away from a top-down Ericsson stack to a top-down Microsoft stack and says, Microsoft, you are responsible end-to-end. I don't want to worry about everything. Here is your penalties, your SLAs, et cetera, and I want to treat you like I was treating Ericsson. And Microsoft accepts that they have the capability to do that. But Amazon can't, right? Amazon will say, no, I'm partnering with Nokia, and I'm partnering with Samsung or Ericsson, and there is going to be RASIs and complexity and so on, and you, Mr. Telco, has the end-to-end responsibility. I can't take it, right? So again, it's different strategies based on the DNA of the companies, but also catering to different segments of the market.
Thanks, Michael. I really liked how you explained it. It's related to the company DNA and company direction, and that managed service model is very interesting. And I think telcos like managed service, right? So this is what they used to get. So I think that's a smart move from Microsoft.